So now we can get to the main thing of why we're here. Is Social Security broken? Well, we have to define what broken is. First, what's the public purpose? What's the presumed problem? What is a real problem? Public purpose of Social Security. Well, why do we do this? To provision seniors at a level that makes us proud to be Americans. Okay? What's the problem with Social Security? Are seniors taking their Social Security money and flying in private jets to the Super Bowl and staying in the box seats? No. Okay. Okay. If the problem is they're living at too high a standard of living, I can understand that. Okay. We're producing 8,000 calories per person per day. There's no reason to limit the intake of our seniors. We have a housing problem, which is vacant homes in record numbers. There's no reason to have them out on the streets. What happens if Social Security checks get too high? What happens if we are overpaying? How would we know? Well, unemployment would get too low from all the spending, whatever that means. The economy would grow too fast, whatever that means. Seniors would be living too high. Prices would start going up. We'd start seeing the inflation. And then what happens? Well, then the option to raise taxes or cut benefits might make sense. Okay. Right now, it doesn't make any sense. It only makes sense if you think we're running out of money because we're running a deficit. Second, if there is a real problem, it's the dependency ratio. That's the ratio of workers to retirees is a real problem, not the money. Okay? If in 30 years we've got 300 million people retired and one guy left working, that guy's going to be really busy doing all the laundry, growing all the food, okay, getting all the manufacturing all the polygrip for us to keep our teeth in. Okay? And so what do they say? And the mainstream economists agree, and they say, therefore, we got to make sure everybody's going to have enough money to pay this guy. It's like, that's not going to matter. Okay. Mainstream economists also agree the only real thing that will be useful 50 years from now is knowledge and education. We can build cars now and put them away for 50 years. That doesn't work. There's hardly anything we can build now, actually physically plant and equipment, that's going to be any value 50, 100 years from now. The one thing that we have that people left us from 50 and 100 years ago is our technology, our know-how, our software, and that type of thing. It's not the hardware. Okay. However, because we think it's a money problem, we think the problem is these guys are all going to need a lot of money, because look at how high prices for laundry services are going to be when there's only one guy doing it for 300 million people. Okay. We need to cut back and sacrifice today and run surpluses and tax more than we spend, put 20% of our people out of work, and ironically, the very first thing we cut is the only thing that they would agree we're going to need, which is education. Okay. More on Social Security. The trust fund is record keeping. Okay. Social Security contributions are regressive taxes that function to reduce take-home pay and aggregate demand. Why is a Democratic administration supporting a tax that taxes those people at the lowest income levels the most? It's not even a fair tax. It's completely regressive. Why are they doing that? They're not trying to do that. It's not their agenda. They believe we've run out of money. Okay. Social Security payments are progressive distributions that add to take-home pay and aggregate demand. Why are they cutting these? Why did they just cut $500 billion out of Medicare? Not because they think we shouldn't have it or because they think there's something wrong with a progressive distribution to help aggregate demand, because they think we've run out of money. Why are they contributing to the unemployment problem? Who is unemployed? We just grew at 5% for a quarter, 6%, and maybe another 5% this quarter. That's very high real growth. Wow. Well, who's getting all that real wealth? It's sure not the people who've been losing their jobs or seeing real wages fall. It's not the lower income group. Well, then who is it? It's somebody else. Okay, we've seen a Democratic populist administration preside over the largest upward transfer of real wealth from low income to high income people in the history of the world. That is not what they were elected to do and not what they intended to do. It's because they don't understand the monetary system and monetary operations. It's not even theory. They don't understand actual operations. Why are Social Security cutbacks on the table? Only one reason. Our leaders don't understand the monetary system. They don't know spending is not constrained by revenues. They think that to spend what we don't tax, we have to borrow from the likes of China for our grandchildren to pay back. It's all a tragic mistake of epic proportions.